Thanks for listening to English Go Podcast. To listen without advertisements or to read episode transcripts, visit englishgo.co.uk for more information.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify is there to help you grow. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Get a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/work. Shopify.com/work.
Cool fact, a crocodile can't stick out its tongue. Also, you can get health insurance for a month or just under a year in some states. United Healthcare short-term insurance plans, underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage for you. Learn more at uh1.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
I need a cup of tea, but I shall go and get one after I have finished recording this podcast. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about today was give you a sort of update about the car that I purchased. I think I said I would. I remember saying that. I don't know, maybe I didn't. But I think I said I'd give you an update and let you know how it was going, how I'm finding driving over here in Japan compared to driving in England, and all that kind of stuff. Actually, now I think about it, I think I may have given you a bit of an update before, because I seem to remember telling you how impressed I was with this sort of tiny car I bought, because it's very sort of like box shaped, and because of that, it's very useful. You know, you can fit lots of things in it, or you're sort of maximizing the amount of space that you have in the car. Well, I'm still impressed with that, and I'm still enjoying that. Me and my wife have been making a habit of driving to this park, sort of like I don't know, is it a park? It's called a park, but it's not like a park like you imagine with what's a park that you imagine? You know, with like swings and slides and a play area and things like that. It's next to a big river called the Arakawa River. And so because of this, there's not much in the way of like buildings nearby, because this river can and does flood every now and again. So you can't build a building too close to the river, otherwise it will be destroyed when the river floods. So there's lots of grass and some trees, lots of fields around there. So it looks quite natural. And we can park the car there, open the boot of the car, although it's more like a door on the back of this car that just opens. How do you explain the way it opens? It opens like... What does it open like? I'm really trying to think of a good example of something that opens in this way. What opens like this apart from this door on the back of the car? Sort of like a laptop lid, I suppose. That's the best thing I can think of. You know, you open the laptop and it just opens up in the way that it does. It's like that on this is a bad explanation. It's like that on the back of the car, but it opens up to like, you know, a 90-degree sort of angle. Anyway, so you end up with a sort of shelter over your head. Anyway, so we park the car that way around, open the back door, you sit in the back of the car, and you look at all the view, but you're out of the direct path of the sun. You know, you're sitting in the shade thanks to the car. So we've been making a habit of doing that fairly often, And it is thanks to this car that we've been able to do that. It's thanks to the clever design of it. It just provides you with this really flat base. So you can, fold all of the rear seats down, and it's like perfectly flat at the back. And there's a lot of space for like sitting on, even though it's so small. So I'm still continually impressed by that. As for actually driving in Japan, I think I'm mostly used to it. Most of it's okay. It's starting to feel very normal. It's starting to feel very natural. Even adjusting to the much slower speed of the roads over here compared to roads in England. Even that's starting to feel normal now. It is a lot slower. I mean, sometimes I've been traveling along. I think I was traveling along at around 50 kilometers per hour. Was it 50? 60 kilometers per hour, perhaps. And I said to my wife, it feels like we're doing about 40 miles per hour. And I think I was right. I looked it up later, and it was about 40 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour is not fast in England. It's sort of like the speed that you're supposed to go on almost every road is 30 miles per hour. Most people drive a little bit faster, like 10 miles per hour faster. So that means lots of people end up driving around 40 miles per hour everywhere, which is 60 over here. 60 kilometers per hour, sorry. Well, it's just over 64 kilometers per hour if you want to be really accurate. But the point is, it felt weird. I felt like I was going reasonably fast because it was 60 kilometers per hour, and most of the times I'm driving around 40 or 30. So it sort of felt like, wow, I'm on a fast road, but then at the same time, it's like, now I'm doing the normal speed that people drive in England. So it's a bit of a weird feeling. You feel it's fast, but then you realize, actually, no, it's just normal. But like I said, I'm getting used to it. The slower speeds are feeling a lot more normal now, and I suppose the plus side is that if there's any if something bad happens, if there's a traffic accident, I'm sure it's a lot safer traveling at slower speeds. The downside is you end up, getting to your destination much later. It takes a longer time. So pros and cons, I suppose. I'm still trying to adjust to certain things that I'm really used to doing in England. So, for example, the last car I drove in England had the indicator or the winker, like control, put on the left-hand side. This car I have now has it on the other way around, sorry. It had it on the right-hand side. The car I have now has it on the left-hand side. So I got used to doing this maneuver where I would move, with my right hand, put it on the left side of the steering wheel and move it around. So I'm turning to the right. And at the same time, I'd hold my index finger out and flick the indicator up. So I'd move to the right and I'd start indicating right at the same time, all with one hand. And that was just something that, just became like a habit for me. I do it so often. I've tried to do that, not on purpose, on this car. And obviously I just turned the window wipers on, which is no good. And some confused drivers look at me and wonder why I've just turned the window wipers on when it's not raining at all. That's a silly mistake. It's a bit annoying when I make it. It's a bit embarrassing when I make it. But it's not really that dangerous, I have made one mistake, which was pretty dangerous, to be perfectly honest. And the reason I did that is because I'm still not used to driving an automatic car. I've driven manual cars all my life, like most people in England, in the UK. So what happened was I was driving up this hill that was quite steep, and the car I have has a drive mode and an S mode, which I think must stand for either sport or something else. But the idea is that the I don't want to get too technical about it, but the revs of the engine are kept higher for longer, so that the result is it can climb the hill. It can climb hills easier, or it can accelerate faster. Anyway, so I put it into this S mode. I was going really slowly, and I put it into this S mode, went up the hill, much better. And then I had to come out of this, make a left turn onto a road that was quite fast. So I thought I'll leave it in the sort of S mode, the sport mode, if you like, and so the car can move more quickly. Everything great, car moved more quickly, good. And then I was driving along, and I thought, okay, now I want to change back into the drive mode, because I could hear the revs of the engine were really high. It was going like, and I wanted it to calm down, and go like, I'm trying to explain it if you don't know what revs are. Revs are just revolutions. So, like the engine turning over, it was turning over too quickly, wanted it to be more slow, more relaxed like. Now, in a manual car, if you want to change gear, you always have to put the clutch in. If you don't put the clutch in first, the clutch disengages the gears. It stops them from being used so that you can change gears. If you don't do that, I don't even know what happens. I've never tried it before, but some horrible noises and some damage to your car, most likely. And I was thinking, well, there's no clutch, so obviously I don't need to put the clutch in. But can you just move straight from this S mode to the D mode? Do you have to slow down first? Do you have to stop the car first? Is it okay to be doing it with your foot on the accelerator? Do you have to take the accelerator off? I did not know what to do because, I'm not used to driving automatic car. I still don't know what to do, to be honest. I still haven't found out what you're supposed to do. So I was not panicking, but I was thinking what am I going to do? What am I going to do? There's a car behind me, reasonably close, and I really want to change back into drive mode because the engine's really, high pitched, and that's no good for the engine. What do I do? So I think a part of me thought, I'm just going to have to try it and just going to see what happens. I don't know if it's going to make a horrible noise and cause some damage. I'm just going to have to put it into drive mode. And another part of me was thinking, let's sort of slow down before doing this. So I slowed down a little, checked it was safe to do that, and then did something incredibly stupid. And I don't know how I did it. I think all the mistakes that I tend to make when I'm driving in Japan happen when I'm concentrating really hard, which makes no sense. When I'm concentrating and I want to do something, that's when the mistakes happen, because that's when the habits that my brain has, the memories that I've learned about driving in England, that's when my brain says, this is how you do it. I don't know, it's like it's trying to help me, but it really does not help. So what I did was I sort of finished slowing down, and then I went to change gear, and I put my foot on the clutch to change gear. Only there is no clutch in an automatic car. And in some automatic cars, there's just a big hole where the clutch would be. You've got 2 pedals, brake, accelerate, that's it. In my car, there are 3 pedals, and there's a pedal exactly where the clutch pedal would be. But this pedal is not a clutch. It's a foot brake for when your car is parked. So I just put my foot all the way down on this foot brake, and immediately the car starts beeping, sort of saying, what on earth are you doing? Why have you put the foot brake on when you're driving along on the road? And the car starts slowing down, because I've put the brake on. There's a car behind me, and thankfully, he slows down too. But the really dangerous thing about it, he wasn't too close, but the really dangerous thing about it is that when you brake you're not supposed to brake with a foot brake, but if you do by mistake, the brake lights don't come on. I've never checked, but I believe that the brake lights don't come on. So my car's braking, but it doesn't look like it's braking. There's no visual indicator to the person behind that's braking. So it's really dangerous and stupid thing to do. I corrected it. it all happened like really, really quickly. You know, I put my foot down and then realized what I did, and then took the brake off and carried on. You know, it happened in like a second or 2 seconds or something. But it was such a stupid thing to do, and it could have really caused, it could have caused a crash. So that's why it was so dangerous. But I think that's probably the worst thing that I've done when I'm driving. Apart from that, it's been mostly fine. Like I said, I'm really getting used to it. As for whether I like automatic cars now, I don't know. I'm trying to keep an open mind. I've said many times in this podcast before that I don't really like automatic cars, but at the same time, I want, I want to try and get used to them because that's what I own now. That's what I have to drive now. So I'm trying to keep an open mind. Sometimes I sort of feel like I like it. Sometimes I feel like, okay, this is easier to drive. Don't have to operate the clutch, don't have to change gears myself. It's very, very smooth because there are no gear changes on this particular type of automatic car that I've got. It's really smooth. But there's still a part of me that just wants to be in control. It just wants more control over the car at certain times. Not always, but certain times. And one thing that I definitely do not enjoy still, and I don't think there's anything's going to change this, is when I'm waiting at a red light and I have to sit there with my foot constantly pressing in the brake pedal because it makes my foot ache. It makes my ankle ache if you sit there long enough, and I just don't like doing that. Normally, in a manual car, I'll just put it into neutral, I'll put the handbrake on, and then I can do whatever I want to do with my feet. I can rest them in any way I want to rest them. I don't need to touch any of the pedals at that point. And it's very comfortable. What I have been doing, sometimes when I know the light is going to be like really, like a long wait, it's going to take a long time to change, is I will put my automatic car into neutral. If the road's really flat, which is sort of not great to do, because you probably shouldn't, leave a car in neutral without any brakes on. But there's nothing else to do, really. I mean, I could put it into neutral and put the foot brake on, but then trying to operate the foot brake, put it back into drive, and then press the accelerator pedal when the lights change red in Japan, which is another weird thing, actually, I notice. In England, when you're waiting for the lights to change, not change red, sorry. When you're waiting for them to change to green from red, they go red, amber, green. So you have you're looking at it, stop, and the amber comes on, and it's like, okay, now it's time to get ready. Now it's time to, put your car into gear, and now it's time to go. So it feels like you've got a bit more time to prepare. In Japan, it's just red, green. It's just straight onto green. I don't know why. So I feel like trying to do all of that, take the foot brake off, put the car into drive, put the accelerator on all at the same time is no. Actually, I have had experience with this before when I've driven before in Japan, and I've tried to do exactly that, and I managed to stall an automatic car by doing that, which is crazy. I didn't think you could stall an automatic car, but I did it. So there you go. So in summary, I would say I'm enjoying driving in Japan. I'm still getting used to it. It's a lot more relaxing than driving is in England, I think, because of the slower speeds. Sometimes it's not more relaxing because of the more narrow roads that you really have to pay attention to, and there's more hazards on the roads. There's often people walking in the roads at the side, cycling in the roads, turning out, or just going into the road and not really looking if there's a car there coming at all. I've noticed older people tend to do that a lot. So yeah, it's sort of mixed. Sometimes it's more relaxing, sometimes it's a bit more stressful. It just depends where you are and what you're doing. But overall, I would say I am enjoying it and slowly getting used to this driving an automatic car. Right, it has been a fairly long episode today. Didn't realise I had so much to say about driving in Japan, but there you go. It's all good English practice. I am going to get a cup of tea now because I am dying for a cup of tea. It is pretty hot here already. It's actually, I'm recording this in the afternoon, but it is 29 today, And, yeah. I mean, maybe you think it's not the best day to drink hot tea on, but I'm just used to drinking hot tea on, every day. It doesn't matter what the weather's doing. Hot tea it is. And actually, I've heard that if you drink a hot tea on a hot day, well, a hot drink on a hot day, it helps you cool down. I don't understand the science behind that. Perhaps your body tries even harder to cool you down. Maybe you should look that up and not take my word for it, because I'm not 100% sure about that. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm going to get a nice hot cup of tea on this nice hot day. Until next time, bye-bye.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot. We charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
A lot can happen in 3 years, like a chatbot may be your new best friend. But what won't change? Needing health insurance. United Healthcare Tri-Term Medical Plans, underwritten by Golden Rule Insurance Company, offer flexible, budget-friendly coverage that lasts nearly 3 years in some states. Learn more at uh1.com.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you? If people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else. Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
Planning for your next trip?
Elevate your travel style with Quince.
Quince has all the jet-setting essentials you'll want for your next getaway, like European linen, premium luggage options, buttery soft Italian leather bags, and so much more. And is all priced at 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Plus, Quince only works with factories that use safe and ethical manufacturing practices. Pack your bags with high-quality essentials you'll be wearing for vacations to come with Quince. Go to quince.com/pack for free shipping and 365-day returns.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. That's what you'll feel with Boll & Branch's best-selling signature sheets in 100% organic cotton. In a recent customer survey, 96% replied that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. Start getting your best night's sleep in sheets that get softer and softer for years to come. Try their sheets with a 30-night guarantee. Plus, get 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com, code BUTTERY. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Thanks for listening until the very end of the show. If you've enjoyed this episode, please give my podcast a rating, or if you have the time, write a review. It's a really nice way of letting me know you enjoy these episodes and encourages me to make more of them for you. Thanks very much and have a lovely day.